There's something you've been feeling in your bones lately, but you haven't dared to name it. A silence that isn't empty. A memory that keeps replaying. A presence that follows you even when you try to let go. The angels say, this connection isn't over because it never began in this world. It began before time. There's someone who's been holding back their truth, trying to explain away what was never logical to begin with. They told themselves it was a phase, a spark, an illusion. But none of those labels held. Because your name, your presence, stayed. And now, that person is aching to speak. Not to justify. Not to apologize. But to reveal. The angels whisper, she awakened something he didn't know could live again. And now the words are climbing his throat like vines desperate for sunlight. He wants to tell you what he saw in you. How your presence unsettled the parts of him that had fallen asleep. How your silence spoke louder than any goodbye. How even when he walked away, something sacred followed him. You weren't placed in his path by chance. You were placed with precision. You were the catalyst. The interruption. The miracle. And now, his soul is being asked to speak the truth he buried. Even if his voice shakes. Because this isn't about love that fits into the world's patterns. This is about love that reorders the heart. Before I formed you in the womb I knew you, and before you were born I consecrated you. Jeremiah 1 verse 5. You were known. You were sent. And now, you're about to be recognized. He didn't mean to hurt you. But he did. With silence. With absence. With the ache of everything left unsaid. The angels reveal, he didn't run from you. He ran from the version of himself that only you could see. There are wounds he buried long before you arrived. Shadows woven into the fabric of his story. Love to him was never safe, it always came with loss. So when he felt something genuine, something divine, he didn't lean in. He pulled back. He wasn't rejecting you. He was trying to survive you. Your tenderness reached too far. It touched places he'd locked away for years. The angels say he was taught to protect himself, to build walls disguised as logic, to maintain control. And then you came, not trying to fix him, not demanding, just being. And that was the most disarming thing of all. Every time you held space for him without demanding answers, you softened his fear. Every time you chose compassion over pride, you shifted something in him. But fear has a voice. And it screams louder in quiet moments. So he pulled away. Not because he stopped feeling, but because he felt too much. You weren't too much. You were more than he believed he could handle. The angels want you to know, even in his absence, your love kept working. Quietly. Gently. Healing parts of him that only your soul could touch. This is not a broken love. This is a love buried beneath layers of protection. And it is rising. You gave so much without keeping score. You waited in silence. You hoped in the pauses. You stayed even when the energy told you to leave. But the angels are holding your hands now and saying, Beloved, love was never meant to ask you to abandon yourself. There is a part of you that forgot how sacred you are. How rare it is to love like you do. How powerful your presence becomes when you remember who you are, with or without someone else's recognition. This person may be part of your journey, but you are the keeper of your own light. And it is not meant to flicker just because someone is still learning how to see. You have always been the medicine. But now, you must learn to sip from your own cup. There is healing in solitude. There is revelation in rest. There is strength in choosing yourself without needing to be chosen first. The angels remind you, your softness is not a weakness. Your faith is not foolish. Your love is not wasted. You don't have to chase answers. You don't need to dim your fire. You can be radiant. Right here. Right now. When your heart starts asking, why hasn't he come closer? Whisper back, because I needed to come home to myself first. Your journey is not on pause. It is unfolding inward. And soon, what's yours will meet you where you've risen. You didn't just touch him. You mirrored him. And that's why it shook him so deeply. The angels say, she is not just light, she is a reflection. And through her, he saw what he buried. When your eyes met, something ancient stirred. Not just attraction. Not just curiosity. But recognition. Your presence became a mirror. One that showed him his own soul, unfiltered, unguarded, untamed. You think he was distant? Cold? Gone? But the truth is, he was overwhelmed. Because when he looked at you, he didn't just see a woman. He saw everything he still had to become. Your strength reminded him of his avoidance. Your honesty echoed his silence. Your love contrasted the walls he'd built. He saw what he could be, and what he wasn't yet ready to face. The angels whisper, your light is not the reason he hid. It's the reason he'll return. You didn't come into his life to fix him. You came to reveal. And now, the soul that once resisted is starting to reflect. There is power in the way you love. Not because it convinces, but because it exposes. So don't shrink. Don't carry the guilt of his discomfort. You were never too much. You were just the mirror he didn't know he needed. It started subtly. A song that reminded him of you. A scent in the air that made him pause. A dream where your name echoed, and he woke with his heart racing. The angels say, he is awakening. Not because he chose it, but because the soul cannot sleep when love has touched it. This isn't the kind of change you'll see all at once. It's quiet, sacred, inevitable. There are moments now when he almost reaches out. Moments when your voice lives in his thoughts like a prayer. Moments when he wonders how he let you slip through the cracks of his own fear. He doesn't say it, not yet. But he feels it. The shift. The weight. The truth. You are not a memory. You are an echo that keeps growing louder. He is noticing how empty some of his habits feel. How the things that once distracted him now bore him. How the spaces you used to fill now ache with meaning. This is the holy unraveling. The angels show him pieces of the path, flashes of what could be, if only he surrenders. He's not ready to run forward. But he's no longer running away. And that, dear soul, is the beginning. The heart rarely wakes with noise. It stirs in silence. And that's what he's in now, the stillness before the return. He leaves. Then lingers. He withdraws. Then returns with soft eyes and vague words. And you wonder, is this love? Or is it just confusion wrapped in longing? The angels say, cycles repeat until hearts remember what they were created for. He is not playing with your soul. He is playing tug-of-war with his own. Each time he steps away, it's not because he feels less. It's because he feels too much. And it terrifies him. He has tasted something sacred with you. And sacred things require surrender. But surrender has never been easy for someone who built strength through control. So he runs. Not from you, but from the power of the connection. And yet, he always finds his way back. Because the soul doesn't forget its mirror. The angels want you to stop blaming yourself for the back and forth. You didn't cause this rhythm. You're just dancing within it. But now it's time to choose a different tempo. You are not here to convince anyone to stay. You are here to stay with yourself. The love you carry is genuine. But it's not yours to drag along. It's his to rise to. And when he's ready, he will not come back out of longing. He will come back out of recognition. Until then, breathe through the pauses. They are not endings. They are invitations to return, stronger, clearer, ready. Not all healing makes noise. Sometimes, the loudest transformation happens in stillness, in the way your love held space when his world was collapsing. The angels say, your love didn't demand. It offered. And in that offering, he began to mend. He may never fully understand how your presence changed him. The way your softness melted away the armor that life had built brick by brick. But something inside him does. And it's that part of him, the sacred part, that's slowly rising. When he felt lost, your energy became a lighthouse. When he doubted his worth, your belief wrapped him in silence and stayed. When he resisted, you did not push. You witnessed. You allowed. You loved. Love, real love, isn't loud. It doesn't plead or perform. It holds. It nourishes. It waits. And yours did. Even when he pulled away. Even when he couldn't see clearly. Even when he said nothing at all. Your energy continued to flow through him. Through memory. Through dreams. Through the spaces between his thoughts. The angels show you now, every time he tried to forget. Your light reminded him that forgetting was never possible. Because what you gave wasn't just attention. It was essence. You didn't just enter his life. You entered his healing. And now he is realizing, it wasn't your words. It was your presence. That healed what he thought would never be whole again. There's a divine timing at play, one you cannot rush, and he cannot deny. The angels say, your soul signed this journey long before your eyes met. And heaven has not forgotten. You may feel like you've waited too long. Or that the signs are too subtle. Or that maybe, you imagined it all. But the divine doesn't operate in noise. It works in precision. Every delay, every distance, every ache, is part of the map. The angels are moving pieces behind the veil, whispering clarity into his sleep, breathing courage into the parts of him that still hold fear. He's not ignoring the truth. He's preparing for it. You haven't been forgotten. You've been protected. Because what's coming is too sacred to be rushed. You may not see the whole path, but you are on it. Every heartbeat of yours, every prayer in the dark, has reached the gates of heaven. The angels heard, and they are answering. Even now, as you read this, they are arranging the moment he will feel ready to return, not in hesitation, but in reverence. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. Your love is not lost. It is simply being aligned with eternity's rhythm. There's a moment, just before surrender, where everything inside him trembles. He feels the pull toward you, and the terror of being seen too clearly. The angels whisper, he is not afraid of your love. He is afraid of what it awakens. You reached into a part of him untouched by years of distance and distractions. You saw the softness under his armor. And that is where he breaks. Not from pain, but from being known. He was taught that emotions were dangerous. That to need was to be weak. That to love was to lose. But you brought safety without words. You offered stillness without pressure. And now, he stands at the edge of a truth he can't ignore. He wants to come closer. He dreams of it. But fear holds his hand tighter than faith does. What if he lets go, and it changes him forever? The angels are with him in that space. They are dismantling the stories he inherited, stories that say love is conditional. That connection is unsafe. They are showing him that this kind of love, the kind you carry, is not a storm. It is shelter. But still, he hesitates. The angels say, love requires risk. And he is still learning that the cost of hiding is far greater than the cost of being seen. He may not be ready yet, but he's standing in the doorway. And sometimes, that is where the miracle begins. Some loves are not meant to be chased. They are meant to be held, in spirit, in memory, in surrender. The angels say, letting go does not mean goodbye. It means trust. You've carried this connection with grace. You've nurtured it with patience. You've believed, even in the dark. Now is the moment to release the weight of needing answers. Not because they won't come, but because they no longer define your peace. You are not unfinished. You are unfolding. Whether this soul returns to meet you, or remains behind to finish their healing, know this: your love changed everything. For them. And for you. It awakened something ancient. It moved mountains unseen. It created space for both of you to evolve. The angels want you to breathe now. To stop holding your heart hostage to timing. Let it rest. Let it open again, not for him. Not for a result. But for the miracle of simply loving without demand. You are not waiting. You are becoming. What is meant for you will never pass you by. And what passes you is never truly meant to stay. This story isn't over. But this chapter is yours. To choose peace. To choose light. To choose your own heart first. Be still, and know that I am God. Psalm 46 verse 10. And in that stillness, everything you've prayed for will know how to find you.